Well, it's not been the best weather this morning in Llandudno, but that has not deterred the fans here coming out to watch not only, of course, the perennial crowd favourite, Ronnie O'Sullivan, but also the Welsh #1, Mark Williams. Two legends who have locked horns over the best part of 3 decades.
Thank you, ladies
we've
and
got them all
gentlemen.
day. That's the good news. Another best of 19 to
Ronnie
play
O'Sullivan to break.
Neil Robertson in the semi-finals of this Kazoo Tour Championship. It's the 4th year of this event. O'Sullivan won the first staging here in 2019. He didn't get into the 2020 tournament, but last year he reached the final where Robertson beat him. And it's Mark Williams' second appearance in the event. He lost his first match in 2019 in a decider to Judd Trump. Of course, he won the British Open at the start of the season. That didn't entirely tie up his place, but he gave him a head start on everybody else. And O'Sullivan, his big hit, as it were, was the World Grand Prix victory just before Christmas.
I think everyone that's watching this match just wants both players to play as well as they can, just to give us a classic. Matches between these two players over this amount of frames are few and far between these days, so we've got to savour this one today. Right over the corner pocket, obviously on, but the cue ball's quite close to the ball cushion. Ronnie wants to get the cue ball out of there. He's going to have to raise the butt of the cue in the air a little bit, aim down on the cue ball. Beautiful. It's only because he played a very poor safety shot, very careless one. He caught the blue with the safety shot, didn't leave Mark a pot, and it's Ronnie that's got in first from it.
He was disappointing last week in Gibraltar, lost to Ben Wollaston, but that was, of course, just best of 7 and a multi-table environment, not always to his taste. This is more his territory, of course. A long match, 1 table, big prize money.
It's very handy having that angle on the brown, just to drop on this red to right middle. Would have been delighted when he came around the table and seen that.
6.
Hard to see actually which of these reds go. They all seem to be covering each other. He's got an angle in the blue, maybe playing some sort of cannon. Obviously something goes to the right corner. There's a gap somewhere in amongst all those reds.
11.
Now you see it.
Yeah.
Just asking for the red to be cleaned by referee Leo Scullion. It's already been a very interesting week here. Of course, we had the comeback from Higgins on Monday. Last night, Mark Allen put Neil Robertson under pressure, and Robertson responded. But there's always, whatever the tournament, whatever the format, whatever the location, there's always a fascination when this man rolls into town.
Nice. Misjudged that one.
90.
By quite a distance actually. He's still got a pot to the left corner, but he obviously wanted to be straighter on it. A little bit of a faster bounce than he expected. There's no doubt who the heavier scorer is with these two. Ronnie O'Sullivan is the, well, it's just the greatest break builder of all time. So if Mark does get these chances, he's going to have to score today to compete, I think. I don't know how he can scrap out frames when they're not as pretty, but I don't think that alone will get the job done today over 19 frames against this man.
Yeah, I think the danger with O'Sullivan in a long match is if he gets a good lead, because he's a terrific front runner. You know, if he went 3 or 4-0 up, then I'd fear for Williams, certainly.
$23.
Again, can't be delighted with that cue ball's landed. Not sure if this is already played for. They did. It was a phenomenal positional shot.
24.
Say, all the reds seem to be blocking each other slightly. There is one in the middle that goes to the left corner. The one nearest the cue ball, obviously, to right corner. It was just the wrong angle of the black there. He really had to strike that 100% perfectly. He didn't do. You could see the cue ball went off low towards the side cushion. This is a very acute angle to the middle pocket.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 31. One.
So Mark Williams in, and whatever he says, he loves to play down everything, really. We saw the interview with Stephen saying he doesn't belong in the company of Higgins and O'Sullivan, but the fact is, in the midst of their great successes early in their career, he was world #1. He won the World UK Masters in the same season at one stage.
4.
Yeah, just didn't quite get on tended red, so
Mark Williams,
safety it is. And we saw yesterday, you know, the early frames, they might not seem significant, but Neil Robertson got a really big lead in that first session. And the first frame, Mark Allen missed a black off the spot. You know, you never know if he'd have won that frame. You just don't know. It could have been a different story. So these early frames, they are significant. I've got to ask you, Stephen, do you think Mark genuinely believes that he doesn't belong in that company, or is that just sort of part of his shtick?
I think he genuinely believes it. I don't think he thinks he's as good a scorer or as prolific a winner as the other two. But all that, I think, goes to one side. When he gets in that chair at the table, I think you can't possibly think like that, because you're just going to lose. You know, you've got to believe that you can compete with these players. But he's just a unique person in the way he thinks, the way he goes about it.
Yeah, because most snooker players would look at his career with some degree of envy. You know, multi-champion in all the big events, and still in the top 8 in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty much a trademark Mark Williams pop. Just floating it in dead weight. Picks these shots out beautifully. Whether he can get the cue ball into the reds, though, really needs to nip it here. Yeah, just the wrong angle.
8. Touching ball. Mark Williams, 8.
One thing's for sure, O'Sullivan has the utmost respect for him. He's heard him talking about what he thought Mark Williams' qualities were before the match.
Well, no miss. Mark Williams, 4. 3 ball.
Oh, free ball. Snookered after the foul.
One.
Shot O'Sullivan played. You often see it missed first time because it's more of a guide, really. You don't want to sort of career into them too thick. So looking for a thin edge, got no edge, but leaving the free ball is the significant thing. It's allowed Williams in. Just to confirm, as we saw at the start, he'll be defending his British Open title in September, the end of September, here on ITV4
14.
in Milton Keynes. Matches will be longer as well this year, the final 2 sessions. No more best of 5s. He kept on dodging bullets in matches where people should have beaten him, but that's where temperament comes in, even in a short match. You know, we talk about the long matches being a test, but any match where you've got to get over the line is a test, and Mark Williams got one of the best temperaments there is.
This shot could define the frame. To the reds. How's your luck? Well, he's had luck, but unfortunately it's all bad. Got the wrong side of the reds, but the underside of them. That was always going to bring the cue ball back towards the black cushion. It could have been a frame winner if it went right. And he's still taking this right on to the right middle. It's very tough. I'm not really sure where the cue ball's going to end up. Don't know if it's a natural angle to miss the blue in between green and brown.
Well, Sullivan said it himself, didn't he? He's a great potter of key balls. There's another one that he's knocked in.
$26. $27.
You've seen difference here between the two players. When Ronnie O'Sullivan's in a break, the cue ball is pretty much on a string. Mark Williams is not quite as proficient in keeping tight control of that cue ball, but what he does do is he doesn't let a bad positional shot get to him, and he more often than not pulls off a pot like the one we've seen 2 or 3 shots ago into the right middle. It's a good shot here to continue the break.
$32.
The red that he's closest to, he may play it to the right corner. And just kind of shot to nothing, take the cue ball back up the table. Well, he's going to try and play it to left corner. This is a very difficult blind pocket. He'll be hoping to get the cover if he doesn't go in. But that's a great shot. And perfect on the pink to open the 3 reds. He's just kept this break going, hasn't he?
Well, obviously the pink's going to cover this red.
39.
Been adventurous to say the least, this break.
Well, you've got to be sure here if you can get through to the red, because you can see the situation at the table. Takes this on and misses it. It'll cost him the frame, you would think. Maybe flicking a little bit of right hand side on. But normally your first look is the correct one. Sometimes you just try and convince yourself you can get through to the ball, but you just desperately want to win the frame at this visit.
Mark Williams, 39.
Yeah, just didn't get on the red when he freed the 3. So leads by 24.
Unfortunate thing for Mark Williams there, if he'd left Ronnie a safety shot, he would have played the safety shot. He didn't. Forced him into going for it. What a pop. A little bit clumsy with the cue ball.
8.
Yeah, second red he's missed to a middle pocket.
Ronnie
Before it was
O'Sullivan.
the opposite middle. Just checking it's covered. So it's already tense. He's only frame 1. That was a chance. Terrific long red, but just made that one more difficult than it could have been with a positional shot.
What both of these players do brilliantly is, if there's a little bit of bad luck or whatever against them, you'd never know. They never show it. Ronnie got away with one there, but nothing from Mark Williams. But he has left this red on, Mark.
So Williams 16 in front with a chance at this red. 20 minutes in. It's certainly the sort of pot you'd fancy him for, but still excellent at this stage of a tense first frame.
Six.
Another big shot then. This feels like it could be a frame winner, this one.
Mark Williams 6.
Well, it's kept on running and running.
One.
So 23 in front, 27 with the brown, with 27 on. So this opening frame could yet be a respot.
5. Mark Williams 5.
Obviously he's going to take the ball on, but it's the pressure on it is frame ball, and it's one of them you think if you miss it it's probably going to cost you, well, not cost the frame, but it'll cost the fact it will go to a respot. You would certainly fancy Ronnie to clear up the 6 colours. So big shot this. Got away with it.
Happy enough with that, I suspect, Williams. Got a snooker back. Very nearly fluked it. It would have been on the green as well. Things already happening. It's only frame 1. Tablecraft on show there, isn't there, between these two? Got him in another one. Of course, O'Sullivan needs to hit it, otherwise he needs a snooker. But if he leaves it on, then it's surely Williams' frame. Williams not hit it, and
Mark Williams 4. 3 ball.
it's a free ball. Then Brown Cats 2. Took a bit of winning. Williams kept on sort of losing position and all bits and pieces, but he doesn't mind that game. He doesn't mind if he's got to scrap it out. He can play the other game as well. He's just all-round great match player.
4.
Big task for him today. He's not beaten O'Sullivan in a 2-session match since the 2000 UK Championship semi-finals. So we're talking 2 decades ago.
Mark Williams 4.
Sullivan playing on, 35 behind with 25 on.
Three. Ronnie Sullivan 3.
How about that one? I mean, so many times he's conceded frames needing 1 snooker. Here he needs 3, and he's got 1. So 28 in it, 2 5-point snookers to tie on the blue.
Ronnie Sullivan 4.
Because he got the 2 in that frame, the last frame of the afternoon in the World Grand Prix final against Neil Robertson. It was a sign that he was prepared to dig in. O'Sullivan, of course, went on eventually to win the match.
One of Mark Williams' famous one-handed snooker escapes. Did this in the Masters and actually potted the object ball. Not this time.
Ronnie Sullivan 5.
It's not a way of showing disrespect or an exhibition aspect. Sometimes he feels he can just do it better that way. I must admit, I prefer when both arms involved in the shot. But nevertheless, it's down to 1 snooker from 3. And you can understand Ronnie playing on with even 3 or 4 snookers because he's got such unbelievable touch and control of the cue ball. But Mark wants this first frame done and dusted quickly, and that'll do it.
Well, if the first frame's anything to go by, this is going to be another battle today. Half an hour. Sullivan had a few chances. He missed a couple of reds in particular to each middle.
Mark Williams 5.
Again, Mark Williams has done enough. So we're off and running on day 3 of the Kazoo Tour Championship. 2 legends in action here. And it's Mark Williams leading Ronnie O'Sullivan 1-0. Mark Williams has won the opening frame against
Thank you.
Ronnie
The
O'Sullivan
second frame.
in the third quarter final
Mark Williams
of
to
the
break.
Tour Championship. And what we saw from that opening frame is that they are both prepared today to dig in. Ronnie O'Sullivan did his best to get the snookers at the end of frame one. The winner plays Neil Robertson on Friday, and Saturday's semi-final is John Higgins against either Judd Trump or Luke Brissell.
Good long pop, natural angle to get the cue ball back up the table for a colour.
Six.
That one very well though. Left himself another red from distance. Thought the cannon on the red to the right of the black. Just missed it. He's still on the black, but well, you can see how much more difficult it is. There's two reds available to the right corner. If he can pot the blue and avoid the yellow, chance of getting on those.
Mark Williams 7.
Williams sort of had a late career revival, didn't he? 2017 World Championship, he went to the qualifiers and lost, and it was the big celebration, 40 years at the Crucible. All the other former champions still alive attended. He stayed at home and was in trouble. But a year later, he went there and won it for the third time. Sullivan, of course, at one stage didn't play for a year and went and won another world title. Long potting's been a bit mixed so far, but let's crunch that one in.
Three.
Well, the red is on. Obviously the cue ball's going crashing into the other reds, so doesn't know 100% where the cue ball's going to end up.
4.
Set for that though. I didn't play it like that, but what a result. Pacey played it. I might have been hoping to be on the pink, but you can never legislate when other reds are kissing other reds to kiss another ball. You can't guarantee it's going to come out as well as this, but it has done.
11.
Going back to that World Championship that he won after taking a year off, I didn't actually think it was as big a shock as a lot of people did, basically because he's so good. I always thought if he got a good couple of months practice in, and as long as he negotiated the first round, yeah, I didn't think it was that much of a surprise that he won it.
18.
Yeah, he's just that good. Still an incredible achievement, you have to say.
I think the thing about it, there's always expectation on him, but more than ever, as we just wait for this fly to depart the scene, yeah, more than ever that year, there's so much build-up, but he just took it in his stride. Leo Scullion's going to, well, it's gone under the Reds now, so this is awkward. For the moment, it's staying where it is.
9.
Well, just enjoying itself.
27.
And the worst thing that could happen, obviously, is if he's just about to strike the cue ball, the fly just decides to pop up in front of his eye line.
35.
At least it's not a wasp, Stephen, because you wouldn't be here if it was.
Forty-one. 42. 48. 49.
Played that very nicely, didn't he? Judgment of pace.
56.
Yeah. Wow.
Ronnie Sullivan,
Incredible.
56.
I was just about to say, as you would expect, Ronnie's going to win most of his frames today from one visit, and then he goes and misses the black off the spot. I've seen a few blacks off the spot missed in the first 3 days of this Tour Championship. Oh, 2 in the first frame yesterday.
At least from O'Sullivan's perspective, he didn't leave a red on, because the clearance was on if he had. that a little thick. Really, just banging control, wasn't he? He played that lovely cannon into the reds and then out of nowhere missed the black.
One.
Well, played for the pink, the left middle.
Blue ball.
Trying to get the snooker. That's wonderful.
Mark Williams one.
Caught the knuckle. There is a red on here. O'Sullivan just needs it, and Williams will need snookers. It's not there. Just a little bit of tension early on. It's a very different tournament, this. Just when you walk in, these guys normally early in a tournament see loads of players, loads of people, to book practice times, all that sort of thing. But in this event, it's just you two all day. So it is like a final.
The reasons Mark's taken a bit of time over this is he could really do with quite a high value colour in potting this red. That's why he's decided to try and put it dead weight for the pink.
One.
And that's a fabulous shot. There's no one better, there ever has been, at long distance pots dead weight than Mark Williams. Chance to deal an early psychological blow in this match. A frame that
7.
Ronnie had wrapped up. And played that nice little cannon
8.
into the 4 reds. I always say in these long matches, the frames that will decide the winner, the frames that you win that you shouldn't have,
14.
those are the ones that turn the matches.
Yeah, it's just looking at the scoreboard. If he takes the pink, he can only tie. So he would need the black off the red. Black that O'Sullivan missed, it went right down into the balk end.
Yeah, he's got a decision. The pink would be easy to get on. Be able to tie the black. Don't know how close he can get to the black. It's going to be a more difficult pot.
15.
I think I'd much prefer to have the cue ball as a left-hander near that right side of the table. It's quite tall, Mark. I'm not sure if he can reach this and cue it properly. Well, he's giving it a go. Yeah, I think he was stretching out a bit. He couldn't cue it
That was
smoothly.
15.
Went all that to win the frame rather than play with the respot, but he's left the yellow on, so it's going to be one each.
2.
Sullivan has made a few errors himself, but they're just still settling into this match.
Five.
Of course, it's such a big time of the season. These two multi-world champions know all about that. O'Sullivan 6 times, Williams 3.
9. $14.
That was the good news about missing the black. He knocked it into an awkward spot, and Williams ended up needing
Right.
it.
And the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So